line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Pat Fitzgerald amidst hazing allegations within the football program. Good morning to you. What a sudden turn that was yesterday. You went from a 2-week suspension over the summer to a firing of a guy who, by almost every account, not all, but almost every account, is a really good dude, does it the right way, has the right reputation, is loved by his community, an alumni who brought Northwestern football to respectability. And in one fell swoop, poof, Pat Fitzgerald is gone at Northwestern. What happened? How does it happen? And What should he know? We're going to get deep into this stuff. Good morning to you on a beautiful Tuesday. It'll be a little warm today. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you doing?
What it do?
This one surprised you when it came down at 5 o'clock? It probably came out of nowhere, but couldn't surprise you, right?
It's when you start asking, why now, what happened? A lot of it has to do with, yes, there were some new details, another person speaking on the situation, but also when things hit, when the dirt sees the light, that changes. That you're not able to play the whole, oh, we trust him, Northwestern guy game. Like, you got to realize, when people start to see what is actually alleged, what is going on, and there wasn't total denial of nothing happening in the program, then people start to get antsy. People in decision-making positions start to get antsy. And it just leads you to take a step back to, and what I think every coach always has to be constantly, thinking ahead, looking at their programs. But you even have to start thinking this morning of, where do you have to draw the line? Because there's going to be things that go on, but I think when you start looking at it, when clothes start to come off players, you probably have to say, all right, guys, we got to stop this. This is going to get to a point where this is more than just making it in the locker room, because too many of these stories have happened in a short time span in college athletic.
So there are so many questions for me with something like this. Why is it happening? How is it happening? What exactly is happening? How can a coach not know? And I guess first and foremost, when it comes to this one, is what happened yesterday? What did they learn? And this is a private institution, so there's no, how you get the Public Information Act here at UNM, and the Journal or the News or whoever is legally has the right to obtain emails, cell phone, because it's a public institution at UNM. Northwestern is a private institution, so that does not work there. So a lot of this stuff you may never know. But what happened that they went from you're suspended for 2 weeks over the summer to you're out. Fitzgerald said yesterday that he was, quote, surprised when I learned that the president of Northwestern unilaterally revoked our agreement without any prior notification and subsequently terminated my employment, end quote. He was talking about the 2-week suspension. Look, I don't know Pat Fitzgerald. I did speak yesterday to a couple people who know him. I've never heard a bad word about him. Reporters seem to love him. Players seem to love him. The alumni loved him. I mean, he's got a pretty squeaky reputation. Now that doesn't absolve him of anything. Okay, I'm trying to give you a kind of a preface here, right? I mean, this isn't a guy that came in with all these red flags up, right? Did you ever heard a bad thing about Pat Fitzgerald prior to 2 days ago?
No.
Okay. Now, again, doesn't absolve him of a damn thing. I want to know what happened. The second, well, it's not even the second biggest question, but whenever these come up, what should a coach know? Is it plausible that a coach does not know what's going on? And we can go back, and you can pick whatever your scandal is, whether it's prostitutes or hazing or whatever, right? Paying under the table. Coaches tend to be incredible micromanagers, right? They know what's going on in their program, right? They know where their players are. They got an app that knows where their players are at night. They know what's right. They know what's going on, but somehow they don't know that in the locker room, underclassmen are allegedly, and not just this situation, being forced to get naked and be sexually hazed. Somehow they don't know. This is where I really struggle. How can a coach not know that? Is it plausible that a head coach just, wow, gosh, I didn't know this happened for the last X number of years, and it happened numerous times. And
well, that's what they're saying happened here. Is in even the outside law firm that did the investigation did not find sufficient evidence that the coaching staff knew about the ongoing hazing. And that is also a giant question. And when it gets to this point, it's more than just the stuff that so many people have been through, right? Because I know there's a faction of people looking at this and going, all right, soft. Like these dudes,
I
here
promise
we go
you
again.
that. Yeah.
Just can't handle it. No, there's obviously something that crosses the line in these situations, or it doesn't get this far. And
But there's a reason that it does get this far
And it-
too, when there's a camaraderie and there's that gang effect where obviously
no, because no one wants to be that dude.
but somebody
But this-
starts it, somebody escalates it, somebody continues it, right? There's a bunch of
I
people.
mean, like the whistleblower eventually comes out after the fact, and what
Sure.
acts do you have to grind? Well, the fact that you went through that.
Well, yeah, and I was
finally
the victim.
someone was like, "All right, this is not good."
Yeah.
And when there's 100 other dudes there, and you're the one on the outside, it's not just easy in the moment to shut it all down. And then you start looking at the whole process. And I do think that it's fair that you look at the head coach and go, "How do you not know this is going on in your facility? How did one of your assistants not take you to the side, go in your office, and go, all right, we are noticing that this might be going a little bit too far. We have to have an idea of what's going on." Like, there has to be some self-awareness at some point.
I got cameras everywhere, and I know you shouldn't have cameras in a locker room, and I get that. But you got GAs everywhere. You've got. I just, for the life of me, can't understand. And I used to think I wanted to be an athletic director. I have no desire, right? Think about it. I mean, your livelihood depends on 450, 500 knuckleheads, right? And a head coach, right? The phone rings. Well, every time the phone rings, you've got to. Well, what the hell's going on? Who's in trouble now? What happened? You don't control what everybody does, but you're responsible for it. If that makes any sense. 505-246-0610 is how to get here today. 888-922-0610 if you still pay a toll. That's the Sports Animal text line and the Sports Animal hotline. Emails will come in, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com, and on the Twitter _JJ Buck. So in 2023, and I don't know if we're talking fraternities, if we're talking business settings, if we're talking athletic settings, is any form of initiation okay? I think there's something, hazings, initiations, rituals, and I think they are all probably different, right? But somewhat similar. Is it okay to have some sort of a ritual that, hey, you're now part of our brotherhood, our sisterhood, our team, our club?
Absolutely.
Or okay. So where's the, and I know this is really a vague question, but I mean, obviously the line is when clothes come off, right? And we're getting into sexual abuse. But what's okay? You got to carry the bags. You got to go get the meals. Is there any some sort of discomfort allowed? Like, because you're right. There's a huge faction of people who are right now going, dude, but I went through so much worse. They're soft. I promise you that. In 2023, I don't know. Where's the line?
Because you see it even around teams, like the freshmen have to carry all the equipment. It's things like that.
Okay.
Trying to earn your way, but the question, all right, when it's just the players, you have to, like, all right, guys, like, if you're putting any player in a situation or doing anything in a situation where their clothes are off, there's been way too many lines that are crossed.
Well, I think that should be
From the locker room showers to forcing them to do something in the locker room, like that stuff. Now it seems like you shouldn't have to say it, but now it has to be addressed, like in all these locker rooms around the country.
I'm going to throw another question at you, and we're going to discuss this after the break. Tell me why I'm supposed to believe this is an isolated incident, right? I keep hearing, well, this is an isolated. It's only at Northwestern. Okay, why am I supposed to believe that it's only at Northwestern?
It was only at New Mexico State. Now it's only at Northwestern. And
I see you got something on your mind.
Yeah, it's
DC's producing today.
I am. But if it's happening at Northwestern, it's happening everywhere.
I don't know that I believe it's happening everywhere. I don't know that I believe that.
I really do. I mean, and it might just be carrying pads or buying lunch or something.
Well, okay.
There's initiation at all levels of football.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of ritual. Yeah, look, I see it it's just a bowl game, so gift sweeps. All right, seniors go first, then juniors, then sophomores, and the freshmen. Okay. I mean, I don't think that's a ritual. I think that's the way to keep things organized. Yeah, when we come back, let's have this discussion. And I want to hear from you today. Like, for those of you who have kids who are on teams, do you ever worry about it? Do you ever worry about what they're going through, whether it's at high school? You got kids who are playing college sports. Do you worry if you're sending your kid, then you hear stories like what happened at New Mexico State, what allegedly happened at Northwestern, what happened at Pickett, and your kid's not going to tell you, nor should they. I mean, in some respects, or maybe they should. But why would I believe that this was just at Northwestern? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The whistleblowers' allegations were, quote, exaggerated and twisted, close quote. Again, that tells me as a lawyer that, well, wait a minute, that's not saying that nothing happened.
That's right.
This is a situation, gentlemen, where you have to ask yourself, what did the coach know? When did he know it? And should he have known it? And based upon what I'm hearing, not only did he know about it, but didn't do anything about it, and that's a firing offense.
If that's the
I'm
case,
out.
yeah, no, it's good to hear you. Thanks, Adolf. If that's the case, then it's a fireable offense. Right? Should he have known?
Reading about this, these allegations go back a long way. He's been with Northwestern since 01.
That's right.
So when you have players from like the 05 team, 07 team coming out and saying things, I'm sorry, 20 plus years, it's tough for me to think he knows nothing.
Isn't it crazy that somehow this happened for 20-something years, theoretically?
At that institution, too. It is mind-blowing.
I look, at any institution, right? I'm going to promise you if there's something happening at pick your institution. I think there's some sort of a ritual, right? Or some, whatever. But how does it get to this point? One player got, there's a number of players who are coming out now saying they're still going under psychiatric care years after leaving the institution or the university. that they've been permanently scarred by this. I don't know, man. I keep coming back to in all these situations, the New Mexico State thing as well. How can the head coach not know? I've got how many assistants? How many GAs? They're in the locker room. I'm in charge of everything, right? Yeah. I know what we're eating, when we're going, where we're doing. How does he not know? And it's always hard for me just to say, yeah, he just didn't. And especially to your point, DC, if this has been going on for 20 years-ish,
the last person I'm going to say, why aren't you doing anything is a GA. Like, this is on the coaches, the dudes that are getting paid to be there and run that program.
Well, but a GA is on your staff, right? I mean, if the GA is the one in the locker room and sees it, he's responsibility.
But if there's a track record of it going on that long,
GA,
you know how fast that GA
was part of it.
Is not going to be there if he's going to try to say something that causes a problem.
Fine, but there's plenty of coaches, right? Are they never in the locker room? Are they? I just.
Well, to me, it's because they allowed it to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's not that the coaches didn't know. I think
that's
part of what they did.
Yeah, I think that's what it really comes down to. And I mean, I got to believe there's coaches across America. As media days start tomorrow in the Big 12 and next week in the Mountain West, and I got
all the SIDs are like, by the way, coach, let's go over your answer on if they ask you about that hazing.
I promise you,
and what your program does.
Right? Do you how do you monitor it? It's JJ. Every year there's a story like this, a hot topic going in, and I think every school will have, every coach will have some sort of a conversation the day that players get back, right? And reevaluate and make sure, because this is going to come front and center in every program. This is, to your point, DC, Northwestern, that institution, one of America's most respected academic institutions, right? Certainly in major college sports. I mean, I don't know, is it them and Vanderbilt as far as power conference football? Is there somebody with Stanford? Those three? I mean, you got right.
They're up there. They're among the top. So yeah, it's And I was thinking to myself, how does this play out in 2005? Like we're thinking here in 2023, and it's terrible and everything. Do you think in 2005 they're thinking, it's not really that bad?
I think it plays out differently. But I will tell you this: if it hits the press in 2005, it blows up too. There's so many. That's why this is so fascinating to me. How did it go on so long? At some point, it's going to crack, right? It takes one person, and like if you read the initial story yesterday, there's one anonymous player who said, I'm going to get Fitz fired, and that player did, right? But think of how many guys, 100 guys on a team, and I mean, we're talking thousands of guys who have gone through this, right? Thousands of guys theoretically would know about this. And what are they thinking? Damn, they just blew up our tradition? Or are they thinking, oh, it's about time? Or are they thinking, oh, damn? Or what about me? I hope my name got... Like honestly, if let's just say you're a dude who played on the 2018 team and you're now working at a firm somewhere and you were part of some part of this, whether on the receiving and or the offensive end. Like, what's your thought right now? They blew up my program. They blew up my coach.
It's probably all the above, really. I mean, because you're right. If you're working a normal job, everyone at your office today is going to ask.
Everyone's looking at you. Did you play football at Northwestern? Did you go through this? 100%. You walked into the office today, and Sally in accounting and Herbie down in marketing just asked you, dude, did you go through that? Did you get hazed? Did this happen when you were there? And we're like, what are you saying?
Calling in sick.
No comment.
Stuff went on, but I love Coach Fitz and
football stuff.
What are you saying?
Wow, that is a tough question.
What about Fitz? Because I think he's going to end up getting millions out of this, by the way. Do you think he was wrongfully terminated? Do you think, because he's lawyered up? I mean, we haven't gotten into Bob Huggins yet.
It's always about the money.
Well, don't you think?
Never about accountability, what actually happened.
Don't you think?
About the money.
Don't you think he's going to get paid? Man, I think he's going to get paid. All right, when we come back, 72 bombs by Vlad Guerrero. How'd you like the home run derby last night? This one's going to Everett. Oh, that landed in Issaquah. All the way to... Yeah. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Sound.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ESPN Radio, the courtesy on that. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is your home run derby champion. All right, you said you love the Derby. You're all about the Derby. You went to the Derby, DC.
I did.
How was the Derby yesterday?
Oh my! I mean, I love it, but after you've been there, it's hard to watch on TV. So I didn't love it as much last night, unfortunately.
How long did it take?
The actual event?
Yeah, feels like they went on the air at 5, and then I went to dinner, and I got in front of a TV at 8, and it was still going, and
it felt like 4 hours.
Oh my goodness! All right, good for Vlad. And there's a lot of feel-good stories around that, and he's a winner. 505-246-0610. David, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, David.
Hello. A couple of things. How does the Derby, not the home run Derby, but the All-Star Game help franchise and free agency ultimately change in baseball? Meaning about the same time as the trade and about the same time as all this scuttlebutt about who's going where and what's going to happen. How does the game and the home run Derby ultimately change? The other question is about alignment. Ultimately, all this talk about Pac-12 going elsewhere, why doesn't the Pac-12 merge with the West Coast offense or the Big Sky to include teams that will ultimately be right for inclusion in their geographical area? But the main reason I'm calling is, as far as the scandal as Northwestern, didn't Paterno get fired with cause and ultimately not have any payouts? Meaning, was that ultimately him saying, okay, yes, you're firing me, but you're going to pay me a lot of money?
I believe he did get fired with cause and didn't get anything. And David, thanks for the call. I believe he did get fired with cause. Paterno didn't get anything. On his first question, JJ, I don't know that I think the Derby or the All-Star Game has any impact on the free agency. I would say zero or negligible. Do you feel differently?
No, because the trade deadline's not tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't feel it has any. And in regards to the Pac-12 merging with like Big Sky schools, they won't. So the Pac-12A, their footprint, I don't think geographical footprint's mattering anymore. Although the Pac-12 seems to feel like is the only league that kind of wants it to, right?
Yeah.
If there's a league that kind of somehow holding on to a geographical footprint, it feels like it's the Pac-12. But the Big Sky schools, don't bring the television households in Montana State, Northern Arizona, Weber State, where else are they? Idaho State, they don't. The academic institutions that the Pac-12 standards seem to have are could be there. There's just no benefit for them other than numbers to go out and say, let's find Big Sky schools to keep our league where we want it to be. So I think that they just don't see the benefit. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How are you?
Morning. How are you all doing?
Good.
So with the All-Star break tonight, let's look at the Angels and what they're going to do with Ohtani. Do they just stand pat, let him leave in the offseason for nothing, or do they try to get 3 starters and a couple of young players either under contract control or top prospects?
Yeah, I'll tell you the answer.
He's not going to stay with the Angels next season.
I don't think so either. So the answer is what happens in the next 2.5 weeks. Everybody's going to be calling them, and if they fall out of
Moreno is not the owner to drive the Angels into that next level.
What do you mean? Artie Moreno?
I mean, he just proved it.
What does that mean? He can't be a winner? Is that what you're
so
saying?
So if the Angels don't make a trade, they're going to let him work with any team that signs him. Even if you pay him, $60 million is a lot. You're getting 2 players with him, at least for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Between pitching and hitting.
So what's he worth?
Plus, he supposedly brings in $20 million a year in additional revenue to the Angels. So that's going to offset the cost. But if the Angels don't act by the trade deadline and just to let him work for nothing, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think that's why if they're in contention still, then they are going to hold on to him and try to ride it out and get to the playoffs and try to make a case to keep him. Okay. And if they lose because Trout's out, they're going to trade him, I think.
Well, I just can't see him staying with him.
Why?
He needs to go to a better team that's in a win mode now. Because even if he stood with him, what is on the Angels roster to entice him to stay. And I'm including Trout in this point because Trout hasn't had a full season since, 2018?
It's been 4 years, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Anthony Rendon, the players they have signed have not panned out. I could see maybe someone like Texas who needs pitching, but maybe they can afford to take a flyer on.
Somebody's going to rent Ohtani, or at least try to. Now, what's the price? And Artie Moreno's going to try, and he should try to get everything he can for him. Everything he can. And look, it might be the Dodgers. It's going to be somebody who's got a lot of assets.
And if he doesn't do it, then that's going to go down as one of the worst non-trades in baseball history.
And it's going to be hard to justify it when Ohtani becomes what he is.
You all have a good
see you.
week, and hopefully football will be here upon us soon.
Thanks, Lenny. This is the hardest situation I can recall a front office being in.
It's also not that simple just to trade for Ohtani because there's zero guarantees that he'll stay with you.
You're renting him for 2.5 months.
And you give up everything that you have to get him.
You're renting him for 2.5 months to make a run at a championship, knowing that he's going to be a free agent and go to the Dodgers or the Yankees next year. I mean, do we doubt this? Is he going to be a Dodger or a Yankee? I mean, that's where they all end up, right?
Mets have money.
Mets have money, but the Angels have money. What makes the Mets any different than the Angels?
You could probably sell that roster, even though they're not performing. You could probably pitch that, hey, if we get this thing right, that this is a championship squad.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they're not playing well now, but they have the pitchers. They have.
I don't know that I think they have the pitchers. I think when I look at the two old guys, I think they're at the end. I mean, Scherzer's not pitching well at all.
I'm talking more about the pitch. If I'm sitting down trying to say, come play for my team, that is the pitch.
I'm just not sure I'm buying it.
And that's fair. That's very fair.
It's the last World Series the Yankees won.
That's a good point.
I'm not arguing that either. They're the ones who always get them.
Worst offense.
Look, I'm not arguing with that either. I mean, but if that's your case, then go to the Reds or go to the Rangers or go. But he's not going there, right? Well, Rangers maybe. Rangers seem to always have a lot of money. What makes the Mets enticing? That ownership group, they're a mess. Everything around them's a damn circus.
Being in New York.
Okay, he's in L.A.
Are you really?
Kind of.
Anaheim. Yeah. There's.
I don't think that this is. I don't think Shohei Ohtani's super focused on having to be in LA or New York. Everyone else is super focused on that because they think all of a sudden if he's playing for the Yankees or Dodgers, he's going to be better, even though he's the best thing that baseball's seen in the modern era.
So, where's he going?
I think Seattle could be there.
Seattle is interesting.
Right?
I agree with that.
Because
Ichiro was so good there.
Ichiro is a legend, is a hero.
It is the closest
to those
to
players.
Japan. Yep. I could see Seattle.
I do not think it's cut and dry that it's just New York, LA.
It just tends to be that's where Dodgers or Yankees get what they want, right? Why not Colorado? What? Just think of the numbers he could put up in Colorado.
He could put up numbers, but they don't have the money for it.
Padres will get in on it, won't they?
Heck yeah.
Padres seem to have Saudi money. I mean, don't they? It's like Saudi Diego. It's unbelievable where they've been getting all the money. I don't know that they have any left. I look at the Mets and I'm like, I see no reason to go. I don't know, man. You got Scherzer and you got these old pitchers. I'm looking at a team that's 6 games under 500, 18.5 back. Miserable. Right? I mean, I don't know. And to your point on the Yankees, like, what was the last time the Yankees won a World Series? It's fair. They're in a tough division. I don't think he's afraid of anything. No. It's like, you got to find me a better place than Anaheim right now. He's not in a crummy spot. They just got to find a way to win. And that's why I say I would stay there before I went to the Mets. Now, your point on the pitch, what do you got? Where are you spending your money? What's he worth, dude? He's the pitcher.
Biggest contract ever.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
$600 million.
So 10 years at 60.
Because he could be paid as top 5 pitcher.
Yeah.
And top 5 hitter.
Yeah. So are you paying him as 2 players? You're paying him as a player and a half?
So I'm marketing myself like you're getting a Cy Young caliber pitcher and an MVP caliber hitter.
I don't have a problem with it. Like, I really don't.
I still think it's going to be a percentage of ownership. He's that good.
It's insane. Hey, Lobo quarterback Dylan Hopkins is going to be in studio today, right? We got a sweet deal.
Plan.
Lobo tickets. You're going to get to meet the quarterback. He's been on the show before, but he's going to be here in studio. Looking forward to having that conversation coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. He'll be here as we're just getting him warmed up to go to media day next week and be asked, what's your favorite color? Do you like popsicles? Do you like green chili? What's your favorite movie? What sport did you play? Right? Dylan Hopkins will be in studio. We got sweet deal on Lobo football tickets. It's coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour. Hey, you got an alarm at your business, right? You got an alarm at home. You got security cameras. It's not enough. Aaron Jones started IPS back in 2006 up in Fort Hills to help you. And I called IPS years ago. Don't wait to be a victim of vandalism and theft. Call IPS and see what they can do for you. IPS offers standing guards and 24-hour patrols to protect your home and protect your business. They respond quickly to alarms to prevent loss and damage to your property. If your alarm goes off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with trained armed security personnel. Private security that's affordable, and this can save you money. 505-897-2420 is the number. Area code 505-897-2420. Or go to IPSglobal.com. IPS is making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420.
Sports Animal. I got a sweet deal coming up for you on little football tickets. Dylan Hopkins, quarterback's going to be here. Transfer from UAB, led an offense that led the nation in yards per completion last year. Going to be your quarterback and taking over this offense. Won a bowl game in the Bahamas last year. There you go. Ask about that.
I like the Bahamas. I'd like to play a bowl game there.
Yeah. Yep. Me too. Maybe I'll do that this year instead of run the game that we.
I know. Have you thought about playing the New Mexico Bowl?
There we go.
In the Bahamas.
I mean, we played it in Frisco, Kirky that one year. Why not?
Why not the Bahamas?
July 12th.
Oh, because it's cooler there now? What's the weather in the Bahamas in Nassau today? I don't know.
What about the Alaska Bowl? Let's get that going.
All right, let's work on that too. Emails 505-246-0610. So you may notice we're running some stuff. We're celebrating 15 years of the opening drive this month. And we're going back and looking over the last 15 years. And Lobo Hobo says, what exactly did Rocky do here? Jeff, your promo's misleading. There's a lot more than 4-8. It was a fact that he lost to Portland State. So we got a year, 2006, and let me put this into perspective, just in case you haven't heard it. Yesterday we ran 2006 and talked about going into that season, JJ, where I asked. The Lobos were 9-4 the year prior. They'd been to 2 straight bowl games, and a number of bowl games under Rocky Long. I said, did Rocky earned the right to have a down season if they did? And they went 4-8 that year. They lost 6 one-possession games. They did lose to Portland State. And there was the damn fans, right? Remember that? And Rocky left. And let's be very clear. In one of those kind of things, I'm not telling the whole damn story like I am now, right? It's a timed piece. So he says it was a lot more than 4-8. It was the fact that he lost to Portland State. His record was 65-69. They played boring offense, which caused folks to quit going to the games in droves. Then on top of that, the program was on probation. He was replaced with Mike Loxley. Think about that. Krebs told us that Loxley was an upgrade. All right. They were on. They lost some scholarships there was an academic advisor who had done some stuff with transcripts. This goes back to should the head coach know everything, right? Should the head coach know everything that an academic advisor is doing in regard to transcripts? That's a tough one, right?
That
was a little tougher to me than should he know what's going on. But yes, they did lose scholarships for that. They were 65-69. Remember, they won 2 games his first year, 3 games his second year. I want to say the first 6 years they won 1 more game than the year prior. So yeah, all that's right. I know you didn't like his offense. I don't know. I mean, his
offensive talk. If anyone brings up,
I know
the offense.
I know.
I'd immediately just tune out.
You went 9-4, but your offense was boring.
If you're a fan of a team, yeah, you'd like to watch an entertaining style, but at the end of the day, it should be out competing and winning games.
Well, when the Lobos,
that offense was too boring. Yet when they ran an offense that led the league in rushing,
but the nation in rushing.
Excuse me, nation. Yes,
yes,
not just league. Nation in rushing.
Yes,
that was popping off 70-yard touchdown
on
runs
a regular basis.
Dudes that could hit seventh gear and run by people.
Yep.
You got people like, well, it's just the option. They're not passing the football.
It's boring.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if that's your main gripe, then you just don't care.
Now, look, this wasn't wide open offenses back in that day. They were winning with defense and they were winning with grit, and they did. They went 4-8 and 06, and somehow we got to where we were in the damn fans. But I think there was a point too. We just listened to a clip, right? Rocky was frustrated with a lot of the stuff that was going on, and like you said, you need someone who's going to be a magician. Did he say a magician or a miracle worker? Remember when he said, I'm not the guy that's going to be able to take him to the next level. You need what did he say? A miracle worker or when he left? But I don't know. Was the offense boring when you're winning? When you're 9-4 at New Mexico and you win a bowl game?
Can you compete? And are you winning? But now it just doesn't look the way it needs to.
The way I want it to. Yeah. You're so right. In the Bob Davie 9-4 year, which was what, 2016-ish? Is that about right? DC, New Mexico led the nation in rushing. They had a number of dudes who can bust off 70-yard runs. Terrion Gibson was terrific, right? I mean, they had dudes. That was not boring. And people called in, and they don't throw the ball enough. They're only throwing the ball 5-6 times a game. He just
ran for 400 yards.
Yeah, and one.
Who needs to throw it?
Jerry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jerry.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
Good. What's happening?
So I think the thing, anyone who has been in charge of a group of young people would, like, the big thing that would come to their mind is, how does the person in charge not know? So my job is I'm a director of a program at an APS school. And with a bunch of young people under me, I can't fathom something going on for more than a few years or even 1 year, right? Like a group of young people who are under my supervision, not knowing about this, or somebody not like mentioning offhand something to me, and then something going on for 20 years. Like, I don't think it's reasonable to think that the coach wouldn't hear something, know, and at that point, yeah, of course it's on them, right? Like, if somebody, it's one thing to have rituals and traditions, like these are obviously necessary to have a culture and a program where young men are going to go put their bodies on the line and be okay doing that. Of course, you have to have things that bring these guys together, but and I think that in some ways, it's okay for a person to, there's like a healthy way to feel uncomfortable to bring people together, not in a way that's unsafe or that somebody would not want to be there. But the second that a person feels unsafe or that a person feels like this is not something that is enhancing my experience here and this is causing harm to me, at that point, if the person doesn't feel comfortable telling the coach, that's a problem. And but more than likely, someone's going to say something to the coach, and the coach has set up a culture where this is allowed to happen. I don't see a way that doesn't fall back on the coach. And as nice of a guy as I'm sure he is, if you're creating that culture, then you don't deserve to be in charge of young men this way.
And that's how we got here, Jerry. Appreciate the call. Thanks. So what he's saying, and here's something that I think we got to take into mind. Things evolve. They evolved over the last 20 years. They evolved over the last 5. This might have been done and accepted 10 years ago. But when people start, I don't know, man. There's words you can't use now that you used 15, 20, 30 years ago. There's things, and JJ, we're going to go back to what you said, right? There's plenty of people who are saying they're just soft, this generation, whatever. If you're going to be in charge of young men, you've got to have a pulse on what this generation, what's appropriate today.
And if things are rise to the level of assault, it never was appropriate. Never was.
And this is probably the definition of assault. Yeah. 505-246-0610. Dylan Hopkins, Global quarterback, is going to be in studio. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us. Looking forward to talking to him about the offense, why they're going to be better, what he brings to this offense, a winning attitude. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca.
Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running.
It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
All right. Omaha! Omaha! Good call, little audible. Is that all right for you? Omaha! Omaha! Dylan Hopkins had a little workout this morning, so he'll be here a little later, is what I'm told. But we are still going to have a sweet deal on Lobo tickets. I'll tell you about that coming up here at about 8:25. So Dylan Hopkins, Lobo quarterback, is on his way, cleaning up, and so check. Let's go to that. All right, Victor Wembanyama is going to sit out the remainder of Summer League. You got your view of him. You got your look at him. My read on this, and this has just become flat out overwhelming with Victor Wembanyama. He talked to Greg Popovich, and Popovich kind of he said, "I'm going to listen to what he says." But look, Wemby's going to go back to San Antonio, find a house, find a place to live, figure things out, shut it down, stop talking to the media. I gotta believe it's exhausting, right? Now, there's plenty of people who say, "Oh, poor boy," we all want to do that. All right, fine, but I gotta believe it's exhausting what he's been dealing with. The media, the scrutiny, and this is going to be his life, by the way. But you want to shut the 19-year-old down? I don't know what advantage is he getting better. He's going to make your team, right? I'm pretty sure he's going to make your roster. You got a problem with them shutting him down for the rest of the summer, which is what, another week?
No, not at this point.
Me neither.
Got some games out there, got the experience. Going to focus on his health, getting ready for the season. They can do that right now.
He had 27 points, 12 rebounds they lost to Portland on Sunday. And after that, he sat down with Pop and they figured out. I think this is right. I think the zoo that is come around him, I think y'all got to remember, as mature as he comes across, he's a 19-year-old. young man doing this in a foreign country in a foreign language, and let the young man go get settled. And I know there's a faction that says, well, this is part of being number one pick, and this is part of what he signed up for, and it is in some respects. But I would let this guy go adjust and try to become a human being for the next 3 months.
I think they handled it well. He did his rounds, he did his runs, all the non-basketball stuff that he did, his responsibilities. Once he got to Summer League, played in a couple games, was around his team. Now they just want to focus on workouts for this season. San Antonio and Victor are doing the right thing here.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And so you've seen your Victor Wembanyama. All right, I'm going to send basketball here, and we'll hit some NFL coming up at about 13 minutes after the hour. You saw Pat Fitzgerald. We spent a lot of time in the first hour, and if you want to get in on Pat Fitzgerald, the Northwestern coach who was fired, we asked a lot of questions in the first hour. I don't know that we came up with a lot of answers. What is different yesterday than the day before when they went from a 2-week suspension to a firing? What do they know? How did he not know, or is it possible that he didn't know? And I mean, how does it happen? Then there's the Bob Huggins thing. Bob Huggins, by many accounts, pretty much every account but his, and we thought it was by his account, resigned as the University or West Virginia University's head basketball coach after he got arrested driving north of 0.2, was it 0.21? Blood alcohol level, 69-year-old coach, 6 weeks after he took $1 million pay cut as a result of the gay slurs that he had on Cincinnati radio. Well, Huggy is insistent that he did not pen that letter, the letter of resignation that the university put out to the media, that he was in rehab and that there is no way that they a letter out with his name on it but not his signature. He insists that he is employed by West Virginia University pursuant to his employment agreement. Quote, I never submitted the notice required under the employment agreement to voluntarily resign. I let West Virginia know that I was seeking rehabilitation. However, West Virginia University was not willing to speak with me about the Pittsburgh event, nor to provide me time to obtain counsel to review my employment agreement. I met with my players on June 17, let them know the truth, that I did not know what would happen to me, but that if I was their coach, I was hoping that I was not their coach, I would be replaced by a coach that I recommended to West Virginia. He flat out, JJ, says, look, man, I didn't pen that letter. I didn't resign. I'm the coach. Can I promise you this one's going to get ugly? For Ren Baker, the athletic director there, and the president, and this one's on Ren now to figure it out, the former North Texas athletic director. What do you make of it? Does this sound more like angry old coach that I don't know, man. There's some validity to what he says. If I was in rehab and I didn't pen this, I couldn't have penned it. There's no signature on it. I mean, are you buying any of it?
No. It's not like he was in prison and shut off from the world. He could send an email, I'm certain.
Quote, I did not draft or review West Virginia's statement. The false statement was sent under my name, but no signature is included. In addition, the false unsigned statement was accompanied by a joint statement from president and athletics director that clearly implied that they had received this purported resignation letter from me. Quote, Coach Huggins informed us of his intent to retire and has submitted his letter of resignation. We've accepted it. End quote. He said, I never wrote it. So they got to fire him with cause? They got cause, don't they?
This is cause. So if it was false, then I don't have a problem with what Bob Huggins is doing. Because if they falsely drafted that,
I agree with that,
for your resignation, that is their wrong. But if this is something that he agreed to, but then people are like, dude, your money, and now he's coming back, it's all of this stuff. It just throw out the window
everything I did.
Respect, responsibility, accountability. Like, because no one cares. So there's two ways to go with this. If it's false, then Bob Huggins has to do this because you can't do that to anyone. You can't just falsely put out a resignation letter.
Yes.
To get rid of him.
Yes.
But if he is backtracking on it, then I'm so done with coaches and college athletics, just everyone. Like, there's zero accountability. It's just all about the bag. Like, no one cares in life to be respectful or have accountability. Like, Bob Huggins, you're done, man. Like, regardless of if you're resigning or not, like, this is the moment where you don't get to be coach there anymore as a legend you are. How many people you get to shake hands, how many buddies you have. Like, you made mistakes, dude. Realize it.
Quote in Huggins' statement yesterday, now that I have obtained counsel to review the employment agreement and have seen West Virginia University's comments about my current status, it is clear that WVU did not handle the situation appropriately. More importantly, the basketball program is in need, and I have strong desire to conclude my career as the head basketball coach for the program that I love. I hope to meet with WVU in the near future to resolve this situation. End quote. So I retained counsel. They didn't handle it appropriately. Basically, what I read there is they need to pay me to go away. How else am I supposed to read this? I counseled. They didn't handle it appropriately. Never mind. And he does at the top of this, in the second paragraph, let me say that I'm truly sorry for the mistake I made in Pittsburgh. I've taken responsibility for the mistake, and I've taken a course to verify that such a mistake will not occur in the future. I voluntarily checked into a world-class rehabilitation center, and I intend to remain in the center until I'm cleared to return to my active coaching duties. And then he said, due to my focus on rehabilitation, I've not been in the media responding to WVU's statements. So he acknowledged, all right, I screwed up. But by the end of this thing, it's like, yeah, whatever. They didn't handle it right. I need my money. I need my job.
And if West Virginia did indeed draft a false statement,
they got a problem. Woo-wee. No. If they then they're going to get sued for drafting a false statement. But I don't know the specifics of Bob Huggins' contract. I know that there are morals clause in contracts. And between the radio incident and a .21 DWI
at this point, if you're a coach, you pretty much can do whatever the heck you want, and you're still getting money. Like, that is a freaking life to live.
You want that life? And then go screw it up and give me my money?
I'll get the money. I get the worst coach, destroy program, get it shut down. I'm still getting my money.
You know what's crazy, though? And I don't even know what this is crazy. West Virginia fan is back in Huggy.
Oh, absolutely.
Give me back my coach. We love Huggy. Huggy's what? You know why? I shouldn't say that. The DWI is one of the. Be careful. I'm looking for the word. I don't want to say the most relatable, but it's the most polarizing offense because there's so many people who say, "Yeah, I've gotten behind the wheel and had a few, whether I've gotten popped or I've not gotten popped. I can understand it." And then there's many, and maybe even the same people who say it's flat out unforgivable, right? And I get both sides of it. Did you see the movie Woody Harrelson's new movie Champions, where he coaches the intellectually challenged team?
Not yet.
All right. Part of it is, and maybe I'm spoiling this. He's a head coach of like a CBA team, like in Iowa. I'm sorry, assistant coach, and he gets fired, and he gets a DWI, and the judge basically, instead of going to jail, he has to coach this team. And the star player of the team says, "Nope, I'm not playing for you. Nope, I'm not playing for you. Nope, I'm not playing for you." And it comes out the reason is this star player was in an accident, hit by a drunk driver, and ultimately forgives Woody and the whole thing. But I get it. But do you think I'm wrong on this? Like there's a big faction of fans who say, give me another chance. It was quote unquote just a DWI.
You're not wrong on that. It's, to some people, it's a very easy offense to brush off, as you just laid out. When you are somewhere for so long, you have everyone in your back pocket. Everyone is on your side.
Especially a place like that.
That's part of how Pat Fitzgerald can go 1-11.
Yep.
Face these accusations and still only get a 2-week suspension.
Yeah, both the guys we're talking about are alumni of their institutions in which they're the head coach. Yeah.
So you get a lot of a lot of people on your side.
Yeah, this is I don't know, man, because Huggy's just not going away, and obviously with what he said yesterday. All right, let's talk a little NFL when we come back. The real silver and blue hype train in the NFL. The real silver and blue hype train. And what have I told you? It's not the Dallas Cowboys. Ooh, think about that. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by STEM. When you see a road,
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more automotive detailing. I do. They're the best. They offer more than just detailing, although their detailing is phenomenal. Their ceramic coating and paint protection film can help you maintain your car, keep it looking new. There'll be no more water, dirt, and mud stains. And their protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage from the intense New Mexico sun. And to top it off, they also offer window tinting services, and there's lifetime warranties available. 10% discount for our military. They come to you when it's convenient, where it's convenient. That's why they're on the spot automotive detailing. Visit otsdetailing.com for more info. That is otsdetailing.com. All right, camps open in the NFL here in the next 2 weeks. You're going to get media days for the Big 12 tomorrow. I mean, we're in it now, right? Football is starting, and it's kind of cool. So, JJ, the silver and blue hype train is up like it always is this time. Oh, wait, it's different. Is this a different silver? Like around here, it is always get on the Cowboys silver and blue hype train because I mean, they got the greatest fans in the world, so I'm told, and they got the greatest talent, and they got Dak Prescott, and they got no. This one's different, isn't it?
It is the lovable Lions,
the Detroit Kitties. They are the sneaky. I don't even think sneaky anymore, man. If you ask football people, would you say more people are picking the Lions to win the NFC North than picking anybody else, including Minnesota, who won
over Minnesota?
Yeah,
because you have an offense that even if they take a little bit of step back, you're still looking at a top 10 offense in the NFL. They spent the entire offseason from free agency to the draft focusing on the defense. They invested a ton in the secondary because that is how they're going to take their step forward and win a division, potentially win a playoff game, just get a little bit better defensively with that explosive offense, and they're the team to beat in the North.
Lions have not made the playoffs since 2016. Amon-Ra St. Brown has become, I don't want to say an elite receiver, but a good receiver. Would you say that? I mean, a good NFL receiver, right?
Yeah.
Quote from him: "My rookie year, we were 3-13-1. Lion fans were still there for us. Now the hype is crazy. When I go back for OTAs and whatnot, you go to the grocery store, you go to the restaurant, whatever you're doing that day, if a fan sees you, they're super excited. They have big expectations." So, two things. One, they won football games last year. I firmly believe Hard Knocks was great for them, for their fan base, for people who followed. I mean, the biggest winner out of that was Dan Campbell, right? Their head coach. Biggest winner from Hard Knocks last year was Dan Campbell. Not arguable, is it? He came off as a likable, instead of just the kneecap biting, weird, freaky coach of that losing team. He came across a guy that actually communicates that the coaches like, that maybe knows a little bit of football, that there's a personality to there, that there was something to. Like, he was the winner of that, right?
Yes, he was.
But then you start winning football games. Then you got a quarterback and a quarterback who in so many circles was just thrown for dead. Jared Goff was...
There were two great stories last year at the quarterback position.
Okay.
Geno Smith and Jared Goff.
And Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy was pretty good.
Brock Purdy was great. Last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
But guys that were left for
I thought
dead.
that's where you're going was Brock Purdy. But yeah.
Brock Purdy was just... we did no idea who this story. It was a fantastic. One time with guys that, all right, that's your starting quarterback. Guess what?
Yeah.
You get to pick Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
100%. No, I yes. Yeah. Jared Goff was thrown in. The Rams gave Jared Goff to the Lions to fill a gap when they got Matthew Stafford. The Rams gave him first-round picks, but here, take this contract and this guy because we're done with him. By the way, Jared Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl. It wasn't good enough. He may take the line. Like, there's an argument, and this is, you got this written on here. Who's the third or second best team in the NFC? Everybody's on the Eagles. And then everybody tells me the Niners are the next best team. Okay. The next best odds are Dallas, then Detroit, then Seattle, then New Orleans. You know I like Seattle a lot. I should like Dallas for whatever reason. I don't see it. Who's better right now, Dallas or Detroit? Like, who's going to have a better record, Dallas or Detroit?
I think a better record is possibly Detroit. I know we had this question a couple weeks ago. My initial thought is Dallas.
Okay, but Dallas has to play the Giants twice. They got to play the Eagles twice.
But when you start, take a step back.
Yep.
And you start looking at units and positions where you have that core player, that huge difference maker. And I think everyone's going to go, all right, Micah Parsons. I think Aiden Hutchinson is
second year, right?
That dynamic piece up front.
I agree.
And then you look at, the offense. Well, Jared Goff can get the ball downfield. Jared Goff can put it where it needs to be. And then all of a sudden, I started talking myself into flipping those silver and blue teams.
I like Detroit because I think, while I don't think Minnesota's bad, I think Minnesota's good. I actually really like Minnesota. I'm higher on Minnesota than most. I think the Packers roster, everything's solely dependent on their quarterback play with the Packers. And the Bears should get better. Like I don't think that's a garbage division anymore. But I look around, okay, if Jamison Williams ever plays for them, he was a receiver that they took in the first round last year, the Lions, who was hurt all last year, now suspended for gambling. But if he ever plays to go along with Amon-Ra St. Brown, they drafted a running back that they think is really good, and then got David Montgomery. And they got, I don't know what they have at tight end. I don't know who Brock Wright's going to be. If Jared Goff, and this is so anti-everything I normally am, because why do I believe in Jared Goff? It's kind of the same reason I believe in Geno and Derek Carr. Like, I believe they're in that window where you do get better, right?
Well, there's a consistency with the quarterback. You see Jared Goff day in and day out perform. And he has shown you that in this league, he is a playmaker.
Yeah.
Like, he can make players good on offense.
All right, you're hoping this guy's a playmaker. Lobo quarterback Dylan Hopkins is going to be in studio when we come back. Why is the Lobo offense going to be better? What's different? You're going to meet him, and I got a sweet deal on Lobo football tickets. That is next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
North on I-20.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Lobo football season tickets is your sweet deal for $99. For just $99, you can get 2 tickets to all 6 Lobo home games. That's $8.25 per ticket. A movie costs 2 times as much. There are only 50 pairs available, so don't wait. If you want a little better seats, buy a deal in the silver section. It's $139 for a pair. That's less than $12 a ticket. Have a family and buy 2 deals. It's on our website, sportsatlabq.com. Go there at 9 o'clock, click on the sweet deal icon, and take advantage of this. Dylan Hopkins is our guest in studio. You're going to do the Run Around Radio Ranch today in representing Lobo football. But first and foremost, so you were on our show right when you got here. Appreciate that. But it's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. How you living?
Awesome.
Come on a little closer to the mic. Yeah, you're allowed to touch it. Okay. Thank you, Frank. Workouts this morning, brand new. Look at that, brand new shirt right out of
Looks great.
Right out of the bag. It's got the creases in it. The adjustment to you're a guy from Tennessee. You played at UAB. I gotta believe it. Look, I know it's hot, but I gotta believe just not going through humidity in summer workouts is gonna be nice. It's good for your hair.
That's right. I mean, I definitely noticed a difference in the heat. Like I went back home last week back to Knoxville, Tennessee, and just noticed how different the humidity is back home. But and I was telling my buddies back home, it's kind of different because out here it's definitely that dry heat. But when it's hot out here, it's hot.
It's hot
for sure.
Yeah, the sun's intense.
I'm definitely getting used to it. My family loves it out here. You know, they love the weather out here. They love the town. So I think really just workouts, getting forward, and just getting better each day.
All right. So how are you handling? You know what you walked into, right? Here you come in. You had a lot of success at UAB. You guys win a bowl game last year, and you come over with the guy who was your head coach, who's now the offensive coordinator. And there's a lot on your shoulders, right? The offense was bottom two the last couple of years. Bottom both years. Yeah. All right, bottom. Fair enough. Bottom one the last couple of years. And I know there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, and obviously you're willing to accept that. You know, bright-eyed what you're walking into. Why is it going to be better this year? What's the difference?
You know, I really think it's going to start with. I'll start with Coach Vincent. You know, even really last year as the head coach, I mean, he did a really good job with the team. Still had a winning record with us, and just I think it's his leadership mentality every single day. Just he's the same guy every day. The players love him. Players going to look up to him, and I even think in the recruiting process, just him getting a ton of really, really good players here. I mean, I could go for days naming them on offense, but I think it really starts with that, just getting someone who cares and who's really about this team. And then once he made that job to come over here, I think it was kind of a no-brainer.
You know, I've talked to Coach Gonzalez about this a lot. I think that there's good coaches here. To me, and you weren't here last year, this isn't your deal, but I thought the biggest issue, it's like you got to players. You can do all the X's and O's. You've heard it. It's Jimmy's and Joe's. And I never saw the playmakers, and certainly in the numbers that you needed. It feels like you feel this way. The recruiting, just looking at lists and, you know, paper's one thing and reality is another, that there are playmakers. Do you have guys that can go out and just be dynamic and make plays that you feel comfortable getting the ball to?
100%. I mean, I think that we can really start with the receiving core. I mean, DJ, I mean, he's a guy who his catch radius and just what he can do is unbelievable. I mean, I play with some really, really good receivers, even some guys who, you know, in the NFL still playing right now. But I think DJ, I mean, his wingspan and just his speed and just his football IQ is really, really well. I mean, another guy, Caleb from TCU, I mean, he does a really, really good job too. Just, I think there's a lot of guys, even Jeremiah, do some really, really good things. And just, I think their football IQ is just, you can tell they have experience. I mean, they've been playing for a while. So, I mean, I think that's a huge addition to me. I mean, they make me look good and I make them look good. So, I mean, that was a huge part for that. And really the offensive linemen too, I think in the last.
That's key.
I mean, I think the last, really after the spring, we signed a bunch of guys. So I think who are really getting better each and every day too. So, I mean, that's where it really starts at the O-line, and you can really do everything. So.
He's the Lobo quarterback, Dylan Hopkins, in studio with us on the Sports Animal.
And Dylan, when you look at this roster, the players that returned last year from an offense, you know, they're looking to find confidence. The transfers you mentioned, you know, they're looking for their opportunity. You've won some football games. So how do you kind of instill that confidence in some of these players that, you know, this might be the first time they're actually a starter on an offense? You know, this might be the first time that they get a chance to compete and win some games. How do you bring that mentality to this group, even being, you know, a first-year guy in the locker room?
You know, I think I'd probably say the biggest part of that is it's not just me. I think it's just there's 40-something new transfers. So, I mean, you know, when you really don't play with people in the past too, I think that like you'll really find out when things get hard who they are and what they're about. And I think you can kind of see that in the spring. I think that's why they do such a good job just pushing us really, really hard to really see what the playmakers when times get hard, to see how they react, see how their attitude is, and I think that's what they've been doing. So I mean, that's the real key is just come season time, just everyone stay on the same page, everyone's just staying calm. So when adversity hits, just be ready. In a sense.
In the summer, you're going through workouts. You guys are looking for the practice, but what is the key to just developing chemistry when it's not about throwing routes or putting that extra time? When you do get time away, how do you just build that as a team?
I would really say hanging outside of football, really just getting that chemistry with the brotherhood. I mean, the more you hang out with them, the more they're going to want to play for you. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, when you go on that field, if everyone can just play where I'm going to play as hard as I can for my brother next to me, I mean, then we're all going to be on a good page.
Do you have, as a quarterback, is it something you have to go out of your way at times to remind yourself, like, hey, I need to go over to the offensive lineman. It's not just the skill players. Like, do you find yourself just kind of bouncing around, just trying to be that force?
I will. I mean, I definitely think there's always certain times to do it and not do it. I mean, you can't just be a guy who is just constantly going around yelling at everyone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that obviously as a player, I mean, I wouldn't want a guy just constantly screaming at me. And I think the biggest thing is my play. I mean, as long as I'm really playing well too, it's not like if I'm playing bad and then just start getting on to everyone. I think it all starts with me too, just staying calm at all times, no matter how I'm playing, good or bad. It's just keeping that neutral mindset.
Dylan Hopkins is a Lobo quarterback, and he's in studio with us. It's an interesting quarterback room too, and you come in, and I think it's official. I think you've been anointed the starter, right? You've got a transfer from App State. Tapscott's there. You've got two young guys, Devin Dampier and Aiden Armenta are there. And I've been hearing great things coming out of the room. The young guys have been talking about you as a leader in that room. How is that quarterback room? I know how do you approach that? You're a fifth-year guy. You know you're here for 1 year. It's your job. It is winnings first, getting better, but growing the program, making everybody better is certainly a priority as well. How do you handle that?
I really think coming in here, I mean, I really would say it from my past experience. I mean, I really do think this is like one of the closest rooms. I mean, everyone really, really does get along with each other. And I think just really coming in, let's just get better every day, and I don't think anyone has a jealousy thing. I think everyone's pretty close, and I think everyone respects each other, and that's what you want in that room. I mean, having a healthy quarterback room is everything, especially on game day or in practices. If you need help or if something's wrong, you can always look over to them and just know that they got your back no matter what.
Something I talk about a lot is learning how to win, and I believe that's real. I think this program hasn't learned how to win yet. I think the players here, I think it's different all the time. Do you believe you have to learn how to win to become a consistent winner? And if you believe that, how do you learn how to win? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because there was a culture around here, and I don't even think it's a culture. It was, I wonder at times, Coach Gonzalez talked about it. When they went to A&M a couple years ago, he says, our kids didn't expect to win. Our team didn't expect to win. Now he feels differently going to A&M this year. He whether you guys think you're going to beat A&M or not, he feels that it's a totally different attitude. How do you instill it in a program like this? You're a guy that I know they're looking at. How do you help them learn how to win? Is it just an attitude? Is it just doing it?
I think it's an attitude. I think it starts with the coaches too. I mean, if you have some coaches who are giving a bad attitude, not thinking they're going to win. I mean, obviously as a player, you're going to look at that like, okay, we have no shot. So I really think it starts with the coaches, just getting us definitely prepared and just having the right mindset with us, which I think our staff has done a great job, and I think they're going to continue to do that. But I think it's really everyone around you as a team. I mean, I don't think it's really one person that can really just make a difference. But I think if everyone's on the same goal, and I really think if we just go out there and do it, we win the first couple 3-4 games. I mean, I think really people are going to jump on that train.
Yeah, I think that's
for
right.
Sure.
All right, Dylan Hopkins is in studio, and we got a few more minutes with him on the other side. I want to remind you about both Sweet Deal for Lobo football tickets for just $99. You can get tickets to all 6 home games. And our Sweet Deal is going to go live on our website, sportsanimалabq.com, right at 9 o'clock. Click on the Sweet Deal icon and take advantage of that. When we come back, I want to talk to Dylan a little bit about why he decided to come to UNM. And is it what he expected? Different, better, not as better? That's not as gooder. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together.
The football season tickets are your sweet deal. You got two options. You can get for just $99 2 tickets to all 6 games. You could upgrade to silver level, only $139 a pair. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. At 9 o'clock, click on the sweet deal icon and take advantage of this. Dylan Hopkins is the quarterback, and he's a fifth-year senior. Really successful career at UAB, and your head coach was an interim coach, Bryant Vincent. They go at UAB, they go another way. They bring in Trent Dilfer, and Bryant Vincent is now the offensive coordinator here. Talk about, I know you told us last time, but when we talked to you last time, you were kind of here for a day and a half.
Right.
Why you came here briefly, and has it been anything like you thought it was going to be so far, or has it been quite different? Because it's a different spot here.
Honestly, coming in, I had no expectations. I mean, this is probably the farthest I've been out west. Besides, I've been to Colorado, New Mexico. That's really it. So I really didn't know what to expect. But honestly, I love it. I mean, I really do. I mean, I think it's really the teammates that have coming in too. I mean, I think getting really close with them and just having a lot of fun with them. And I think that's what really makes it. I mean, everywhere you go, even Alabama, I don't really miss Birmingham, but I'd miss the people. So I think really just the people is everything,
that's
especially
right.
here. So
it was a situation why you left? I mean, did you want to leave UAB?
I think I just really wanted to play for him. I would definitely
for Bryant Vincent.
I mean, definitely I've been at UAB my whole life, definitely, I'll always have a piece of me there, but I think at the end of the day, they've got to do what's best for me and just want to play for him and just even turning this program around though too. I mean, I wasn't a little hesitant when I first saw it, but I kind of looked at, some of the stats and everything and just they haven't gone to a bowl game in a long time. But why not be the guy who changes that? When you look at UAB when I first went there, they had just brought the program back and then
from the dead. They shuttered the whole place down.
Yeah, and then we went back to back West champs, Conference USA champs. So why not do it here? He's done it at UAB. I know he's going to do it here too. So it's just a matter of time.
What is it about Coach Vincent that draws you to
question.
His mentality and just how much he cares. Like I said, I was saying earlier, but there's been nights at UAB where he's literally stayed the night on like a mattress. There's been nights he's been there till 3 a.m. and just, he's literally stayed the night to make sure the game plan's perfect. If not just him, but even part of that staff was staying there till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just really crazy stuff. But making sure the game plan's perfect because he cares that much. He really does.
You're going to go Mountain West Media Day next week, and you're going to meet the Boise media and the San Diego media, and you're going to get the UNM treatment, right?
You got to be careful of those Aztecs.
Yeah, absolutely, you do. What do you know about this league? When you looked at this league, right? You say you haven't been this far out west, and when you look at the Boise states, the Fresno states, the San Diego states, what do you know about the Mountain West?
The really only team I really, what I think everyone heard about is Boise State. I think really just being from the South. You hear about Boise a lot, but really nothing. Back home it's really just everyone talks about SEC football and all that.
Especially in Alabama.
But I really didn't know too much about this conference. So
it's a good league, man. There's guys all over the NFL out of this league, and you'll enjoy it. All right, I know you got to make a run on Radio Row. Frank, thanks for bringing Dylan by. Dylan, great to meet you in person. Awesome, finally, man. We'll see you in Vegas next week. Have fun with this, man. Awesome. Good luck with this. I know that I love the way you're just taking the responsibility and like what you got into. It's eyes wide open, and you're an impressive young man. Good luck with this. Have fun with it, and appreciate you spending some time with us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, have fun on Radio Ranch running around. He's Dylan Hopkins, and let me remind you, the Louisville football season tickets are available for you as our sweet deal today. For just $99, you can get 2 tickets to all 6 Louisville home games. It's only $8.25 a ticket. It's less than a movie, right? And if you want a little better, you can upgrade to Silver Section for $139 a pair, less than $12 a ticket. So go ahead to our website, sportsanimalabq.com, and take advantage of that. We've talked to him before. I'm glad we got to do this because here's a young man who there's no hiding from the pressure of this, right? They're basically saying, we're bringing in this quarterback to turn around the offense that was dead last in the nation.
Yes. And it's one that there's been so many missing pieces. it's not just the playmakers. The offensive line hasn't been good the last few years. And even if you think you got the playmakers, if you can't protect the quarterback, then you don't have a quarterback. And I think we saw that with Terry Wilson early on in the process. Like, Terry Wilson was a good quarterback. The pieces around him are not good at all. And now you look at it. I think this is from offensive line to skill players on the outside to quarterback is potentially the best offense that they can put out there over the last 3 years.
I don't know if Dylan Hopkins is better than Terry Wilson or not, right? And I mean, we're going to see. I think, to your point, I thought Terry was a good quarterback who got zero protection and didn't have the playmakers. And that's why I wanted to ask him straight up. And I'm looking forward to seeing with my eyes, what do some of these receivers look like? I've talked to the offensive coaches. We've now talked to the quarterback. We talked to the head coach, right? Danny was in here DC last week for an hour and felt confident that there's playmakers. Like they JJ, you watch football. Yeah. I thought, yeah, the offensive scheme lacked, but I thought the offensive scheme lacked because they just didn't have the playmakers. What offensive scheme were you going to run? When Bob Davis was here, he said we have to run the option because it's what we have to do here, right? He told us this place is unique, and that's what you had to do, and you had to do something different.
Well, it was also
what he
maximized the players that they had. 100%. They had guys that could sniff the NFL at the running back position.
No doubt.
At option quarterbacks that were very good at that, from Lamar Jordan to Cole Gauchi when he was running it. Dude was a tank.
He was a tank, but he was getting dinged every week.
That's why he's always getting beat up so you can finish your career at tight end. And now this year, bringing in Brian Vincent, it's the sense of, all right, this is going to be under center. It's going to be run the football. It's going to be play action. And they focused the offseason on that offense.
Let me give you another thing. A testament to who Brian Vincent is. And that's your offensive coordinator. Here's a young man that just sat right here who followed this guy across the country to a place that he's never been, said, because I want to play for Coach Vincent. He said, I believe in him that much. He's the guy who will sleep in the facility to make sure it's right, who turned UAB around, who, to me, that says something. It gives me a little hope. Like, I'm not ready just to blindly jump on and say this is going to be a conference champion. But can they contend for a bowl? Can they get to 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins? Can they be competitive every week? JJ, I got a little different feel this year. I remember telling you last year I thought they had to be better because the defense was going to be good and they had to get better offensively. They didn't. But this feels a little different because they made the changes. It sounds like that they had to make, right?
On the offensive side.
Yeah, on the offensive side. I want you to respond to that when we get back and why I think they should be a lot better this year. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Terrific. It's hard to bring down. Ada Mental throws a good ball. Yeah.
They bring nothing to the program. Off season's been a disaster.
Yeah. Get ready for it next week.
That's why you come back, you're like, I'm taking the over.
Yeah.
These guys are fantastic.
All right. I got a bunch of emails and in your texting it on the Sports Animal text line. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Come on in and be part of it. And I'd love to know what you thought when you listened to Dylan Hopkins. It's impressive in the respect of he's coming in and taking on this responsibility head on. He gets it, man. Like, he's a guy who said, you know what? He said, I was concerned. I looked at the stats, right? I mean, they were statistically the worst offense in America last 2 years. I was kind. I said one of the two worst. And Frank corrected me. He says, why not be the guy that turns it around? He's coming in for a coach that's
why he's here.
He's coming across the country for that guy. And that gives me a little something. All right. I'm down with it. Here's a guy who won and said, I'm going to go to New Mexico where they don't win because this offensive coordinator can win. So do you feel better? I know you didn't feel good about the offense last year. It was partially scheme and partially talent to me. And up front, your offensive line's got to be good. Danny said last week he's got 11 offensive linemen.
That's my biggest
concern?
question mark.
All right. Danny,
is the offensive line where
he feels he has depth. And that's something that it's been a minute around here. When was the last time you heard a global football coach tell you he thinks he had depth on the offensive
Rocky Long.
Maybe, right? It's been a long,
And even then,
long time.
It's just the reality of it is after you're starting 22 at the University of New Mexico, it's going to be challenging to be able to have starting caliber players ready to go. That's where it's development of those players, because you can have the numbers.
Well, you
but
will
you
have
gotta
injuries.
have them ready to go, and there will be injuries. And everything for the Lobos since Kenny Gonzalez took over, they just haven't had a chance to be consistent. From the 2020 year on the road the entire season to coming back and not having an offensive line ready, not having it where it needs to be, and then an SEC transfer quarterback. That was a wasted season with Terry Wilson, because no playmakers. The offensive line was a mess, and then last year, no playmakers. Felt you had a little bit of a running game, but then injuries at the quarterback position. You're playing that carousel again. There hasn't even been. It's not just here we are another Monday morning. Who's your starting quarterback? It's
which we've done for the last 15 years.
Can the Lobos play 3 games where it's the offensive line, quarterback, and skill players get a chance to show some consistency to just play it so that you can compete?
DC, we've been doing this 15 years, and if we talk to every Monday morning, the Lobo coaches come on, whether it's been Rocky Long, whether it's been Mike Loxley, Bob Davey, or Danny Gonzalez. Every Monday, coach comes on at 8:30, whatever the time is. And so if you say 15 weeks time, what's 15 times 15, right? We've done however many Monday mornings we've talked to these coaches. 15 times 15 is 225 mornings, or Monday mornings. JJ, out of the 225, would you say at least 200 we've had to ask the coach who your quarterback's going to be on the next week?
From performance to injury.
From performance to injury. Who's your coach going to be? I'm sorry, who's your quarterback going to be? And, like Frank just said in the hallway, isn't it nice not to have a controversy? You know who your quarterback is going into camp. Well, I knew who the quarterback going into camp was 2 years ago, right? It was going to be Terry Wilson. Who was it last year? Who's the starting quarterback last year? It's crazy that I knew 2 years ago, but I don't know what it was last year. Right?
Oh, Miles Kendrick.
Miles Kendrick, a transfer. So I knew who it was going to be last year. So another, a fifth-year transfer. Right? So we kind of, I don't know, I just keep him healthy and get there. But I'm impressed with him, and it gives me a little hope because they made the change on the offensive side that they needed to change. I don't. You lost some players on defense, but I believe the scheme and the development of players on defense is. I think they're going to be fine defensively. I do. I just believe. I watched this scheme for 2 decades plus, and I know that this scheme works. Right? I know it's working at Syracuse, and it worked at San Diego State, and it's working at Mississippi State, and it worked here. They were not bad defensively here.
You got to have the deeds.
Well, sure, you got to have the deeds.
It's not just that scheme.
No,
can they just keep the Cody Moon's a player,
and he's
AJ Halsey was a player,
and he's at San Diego State, and he's at Houston. Like those guys left. Okay,
Jarek Reed's in the NFL.
But let's be honest now. Cody Moon was an unrecruited kid out of Valencia County. Right?
Can they keep that magic?
And they
Deion
developed
Hunter's
it.
at Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Deion, right? But they developed these guys. Halsey wasn't highly recruited. He came here. They developed him, and that's why I believe in what they do defensively. Okay, I just do, because I've watched it year in and year out. Were they great defensively? They were good defensively last year. They were good enough to win games. Why do I think Lobo football is going to be better this year? Because I believe they're going to be good defensively. I just do. I believe in the system. I think there's enough dogs on that defense that they're going to be good. But I read the players that they brought in on the offensive side and the staff they brought in offensively have won before. I believe it's got to get better. I look at the schedule, and I believe there's 6, between 5 and 8 wins on there. You think 5 to 8 is ambitious? 8 might be ambitious. Do you believe 5 is ambitious? 6 is ambitious?
Only way they get there is if they start the season 3-1.
The only way.
Yeah.
So after, and I'm not looking at the schedule right now. They got Hawaii, Nevada. Is UNLV on the schedule?
Yep.
All right. I mean, tell me who you think flat out they cannot beat on that schedule. Texas A&M?
cannot beat.
Yeah. I mean, can they not beat Wyoming in Laramie? Can they not beat
I
San
don't
Jose
think they can
State?
beat Wyoming.
Okay.
I think that it's.
I
I think for me, I'm coming at it glass half empty this year as opposed to glass half full. Even I like the direction of the offense, but you can't talk a big game when there's been nothing for 3 years.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
And it's not just there's been no progress offensively.
Here's the deal. You can't wait to get hot late because you're back 3 games. You end the season at Boise, at Fresno, and home versus Utah State. I mean, wouldn't you like to secure bowl eligibility before that?
That would be amazing.
Honestly.
By the way, in those 3 games that we're talking about, it's after A&M. It's home versus Tennessee Tech, home versus New Mexico State, and the Aggies are coming in thinking that they're going
to
win that game.
Why wouldn't they?
And at UMass.
Yeah. What if you get out of that 2-2? Let me ask you this. If you're 5 and 4, I think that would be the number. 5, 6, 7, 8. How many games do you play? Whatever, you're 5 wins with 3 to go, so you're 5 and 4. Yeah, it's 5 and 4. You're 5 and 4 going to the last 3. At Boise, at Fresno, or home for Utah State. How do you feel?
Not good.
Nervous? Really nervous? Like you're at 5 and 4, and you're like, okay. I mean, we've turned this thing around. We're in a position, but you got to.
Well, if you're 5 and 4,
yeah.
Here's the thing, and this is what is hard.
This is really interesting.
Like why these conversations are hard to have, because it's easy to say, all right, you're 5 and 4 at this time, but how are you 5 and 4? Like, were there a couple games where you're just like, oh my gosh,
I don't know. Are there bad wins? I mean, what's a bad win? Tell me what a bad win is. You're 5 and 4 coming off of a 2-win season.
No, but there's also ways that you could be 5 and 4 and still be like, I don't think they can compete with those next 3 teams.
So you're saying they got blued out by Texas A&M and got blued out by, I don't know, San Jose State or something? Wyoming?
Like, there's no bad wins for the Lobos.
Right.
But there's not. It's to me, I look at the Minnesota Vikings. Well, they won 13 games. They lost at home to the Giants, man. Like, you can even break down wins.
Let's say you beat Tennessee Tech and UMass and Hawaii and Nevada and Vegas. That means you'd have won 3 in a row.
That is a step forward for the program, absolutely. Then, because then you're
I mean, I don't know who
getting past the teams that are that next tier
that were beating you the last bunch of years, and then you're going to go up against the big boys at the end. Boise State and Fresno back to back. I mean, that's a tough stretch on November 11th, November 18th. You need to be healthy. You need to be a hell of a lot better than you've been. Because those teams are going to be playing for something. I don't know, would you say those are going to be the 2 favorites in the league? Fresno State's the defending champion. They beat Boise State in the conference championship game. Those are going to be the 2 favorites, right?
I don't think Fresno State. I think Fresno State is going to be 3rd or 4th.
Boise State's won every year because I've never been to a media day, and now we don't have divisions anymore. But I've never been to a Mountain West media day where Boise State was not picked at the top. Never been to one. Where's Phil Steele's man?
They did go 8-0 last year, but they lost Fresno State, and then I think Fresno State losing Jake Haener, a lot of people aren't going to vote them high.
All right, I will, because all right. So it's going to be Boise State, then who?
San Diego State.
Okay, and then Fresno State. All right, just like it always is. And then San Jose State or Air Force?
I had it Boise State, San Diego State.
Did you put in your ballot?
Air Force, Wyoming, Fresno State.
Okay. Where'd you have Lobos last?
I do right now, yes.
Why do you think UNLV is going to be better than them? UNLV changed coaches. Why do you think Nevada's going to be better than them?
Well, that's 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, no, I get it. Hawaii. I mean, Hawaii, Nevada, UNLV, New Mexico, or, I mean, all of them struggled last year. One of them made a coaching change. I don't know how great I think Wyoming's going to be. I think they're going to be better. Who's their quarterback? The kid from Utah State that transferred over?
I think Wyoming is Fresno State light. Like they just always find a way to compete. I think Fresno State is probably better roster-wise, and Logan Fife did play some last year, and so that is going to help them a lot going into next season.
All right. 505-246-0610. We're talking a lot of college football, Mountain West football, but we'll get back into some NFL as well. When we come back, Kansas City versus Cincinnati. Is that the best rivalry in the NFL right now? Not, give me a better one. You got one? Tell you why it might be the best rivalry in the NFL when we get back. Sadly, Albuquerque is not known for safety. Known for a lot of things, but not safety and security. And so Aaron Jones opened IPS years ago to protect homes and businesses in our city. His business is to protect your home, your business. Now Aaron's looking for help. So if you're a former or retired police officer, if you've got military or security experience, if you want to make our city a better place to live and work, he's encouraging you to fill out an application at ipsglobal.com. They've got world-class professionals who will train you to handle almost any situation. You'll work for a wonderful company, and you'll be doing an insanely great thing for our city. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better place to live and work.
Registration is now open for the Lobo Cancer Challenge. Cancer can affect.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Line says, I know. Let's get 4 mighty wins, get a waiver, play an intramural team like Valpo, play a team whose coach just gave his team their pink slips like Liberty, then put a dirty, late, out-of-bounds hit on the opposing quarterback in our 4th-tier bowl game. I see what you did there. That's bitter Lobo fan who can't handle that the Aggies kind of had a successful season last year and won a bowl game, right? I mean, it was a weird season, and, should they have been in a bowl game? I mean, they were, and that was the bottom line. But okay, if that's your path, you can go that way. Emails came in. Bruce said, there are bad wins, Jeff. Remember last year when Dirty Jerry and NMSU beat UMass? Lobo fans were like, ho-hum, big deal. Who are they? Totally disagree. Bad win for a program like this or like that? I don't know. For New Mexico State, that was a pretty good win, wasn't it? Launch them to bowl eligibility. For you, going on the road, you tell me, they won in the Eastern time zone for the first time since the dinosaurs were here.
There is no such thing as a bad win.
Thank you.
For this program right now. But there is a way to discuss that win, in them just being 5-4 doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be like, they can go beat Boise State.
Right. It's what they look like. But if they're 5-4 at that point,
what if
you think Danny would take it right now?
You're going to take it, but there's also a fact of what if one of those teams like Nevada or Hawaii is just, they are terrible.
Somebody's going to finish in last place.
So that's why the discussion is
stop being you, because all those teams have been beating you.
It's not as clean as if you're 5-4, then you can win.
Who'd you
pick
beat?
One.
I know. It's hard, right? How'd you get to 5-4? Who'd you beat? Did you beat Texas A&M or did you beat UMass and Tennessee Tech? No, I get it. But I think if you sat here and said, all right, you're 5-4 going to the last 3, Lobo fans saying, all right, we got a hell of a lot better. You were 2-10 last year and had the worst offense in America. Bruce says, why Lobo football won't be better? Jeff, on offense, they have nowhere to go but up. But on defense, Lobo football lost everyone. They're pretty much starting from scratch. JJ, you pointed out they lost 3 of their key guys. Cody Moons at San Diego State, Halsey's at Houston, and Jarek Reed's in the pros. College football, you turn guys over every year, right? Isn't that kind of, especially now with the portal, even more so? You turn guys over every year. Everybody lost a few dudes. You get doggone it, middle linebacker that got hurt in the second game of the year. You get him back. He was playing the Lobo position. He's the reason Cody Moon got to play. 42. I'm gonna get it for you here in a second. I'll remember exactly who I'm talking about.
Tavion Combs.
Tavion Combs. Did you get him back? He was Rocky said he was their best player on defense when he went down, didn't he? Mm-hmm. All right, so you get him back. But I guess I can't lose my mind over a couple of guys leaving the program, because you got guys in, and one thing I feel secure about with a Danny Gonzalez, Rocky Long, Danny Gonzalez, Zach Arnett defense is that they're going to be good. Now, are they going to be top 25 good? I don't know. We'll see. Defensive number-wise. Ray Luatele's back. I think he was really good last year. I look at enough guys. Sire Riley's back, a guy that was hurt last year a lot. So I look down the depth chart and I see enough names coming back that have another year in this system, in this scheme, that I think are going to be okay. Offense is what you've got to worry about, right? I understand you're going to lose guys every year. It's just how it's going to be. So, but we'll see. I understand if you're taking the other side of it, glass half full, because we've been burned enough times around here. I got it. We'll see. All right, what's the best rivalry in the NFL right now? Is it Kansas City versus Cincinnati? Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, quote, "If you want to talk your ish, pimp. Just better back it up." He was talking to Jamar Chase, right?
Yes, he was.
Jamar Chase was asked somewhere, I think we got into this a little bit last week, right? When he was asked about Patrick Mahomes, he said, "Pat who?" Like, come on now, right? Come on now. He was backing his quarterback as the best quarterback in the National Football League. It was with Cameron Hay of Complex Sports. Joe Burrow put a stop to any more of the trash talk. He said, the best thing about it, it's all settled on the field. So we'll see them in December. End quote. Bengals play at the Chiefs New Year's Eve. Bengals, by the way, are 3-1 against the Chiefs past 2 seasons. That's cute and all, but the Chiefs have 2 Super Bowl rings. The Bengals have none. Would you rather beat them 3 out of 4 times, or would you rather lose to them 3 out of 4 times and have 2 rings? Easy answer, right?
You want the rings?
Easy answer.
This is must-see TV in the NFL, and that's why you look at the AFC, and you're just like, my goodness, trying to climb that ladder. You have Patrick Mahomes at the top. Joe Burrow has ascended right there, nipping his heels. I'm still taking Patrick Mahomes, but Joe Burrow showing me that he's that dude. Like, the Bengals were in the Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals
and they were
in the Super
competitive
Bowl.
in the Super Bowl. Had a chance to win it.
Had a chance to win that game.
They did.
And that's why these teams are popping off. This is what you want to see. This is great, because this isn't, just, oh, you're rivals because you're in the division. You play each other forever. These are meaningful football games with the 2 best quarterbacks in the league.
Well, you talk about the AFC and how deep everything is, right? So the way the schedules work in the National Football League is as your division, you all play a division. They try to make the schedules as fair as they can when they're uneven schedules. In the AFC East, in addition to each playing each other twice. So if you're the Patriots, who play the Dolphins twice, and the Jets twice, and the Bills twice, they all play each other. But they all play the AFC West. They all play the Chiefs, the Chargers, right? They all play the Chiefs. They all play the Chargers. They also play the NFC East. The AFC East has it tough, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Because they're paired with the NFC West. Now it's the Broncos. How could you guys think the Raiders are going to be? I think the Raiders are going to struggle to be 9-8.
I think that's very fair. That's kind of where I have them.
I think they're 6.
So you think?
Football team.
Yeah, I think it's closer to 6 than 9.
A lot of it has to do with who's playing quarterback.
Well, it's going to be Jim Garoppolo. I firmly believe that. But okay, fine, if it's Jared Stidham or whatever. But what do you think of the rest of the roster? I love Devontae Adams. I think he's terrific. But do you think they're good defensively? Do you believe that Josh Jacobs is going to have another one of those years? Stats tell you, odds tell you that the guy who leads the league in rushing the next year does not come back and have that kind of a year. Do you believe that the Raiders are going to be, Jim Garoppolo stays healthy, and the rest of that roster is good enough to compete in the AFC? Because I don't.
That's fair. That's really fair. Losing Waller also.
That's a huge
loss. So, 9 wins would be a stretch. A big stretch, actually. So, and JJ, I think you're right. 6 actually going down the schedule. That's pretty good bet.
Better team, Broncos or Raiders, by the time we're done. They're going to play a very similar schedule. More wins by the time the season's over, Broncos or Raiders?
Broncos.
They both might have 6.
I'm right there on you. Like I don't believe in as much as I like your defense. I think the Raiders might be better. I'm so down on Russell Wilson right now as far as what I expect. And for you guys' sake, I hope I'm wrong. I don't dislike Russ. I think it's as much mental as it is physical. And I just saw nothing last year that makes me believe Russell Wilson's going to come back and be an effective NFL quarterback. I want to be wrong. And I'll sit here and I'll eat it if I'm wrong. But I don't see it.
I'm on the same exact page. I don't see it either. That is my least favorite move they've ever made.
Who's their backup quarterback?
Jarrett Stidham. He'll be playing.
The Broncos' backup quarterback is Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
Who's the Raiders' backup quarterback? Is it like Brian Hoyer or some mess? I'll find it for you. But JJ, you feel differently, huh?
The Broncos, I think, are going to be a better football team, but the AFC is so stacked that it's not going to be good enough for it to matter for them being a playoff team.
Okay. Brian Hoyer, by the way. So the Broncos, I look at what their schedule is, right? They got to play their division twice. Raiders, Commanders out of division. They get Dolphins on the road, Commanders at home, at the Bears, Jets at home. That'll be fun. At the Packers, at the Bills, Vikings and Browns at home, at the Texans, at the Lions, Patriots at home. The NFL's so fun. It's just so fun. Russell Wilson going to be starting quarterback by the end of the year for the Broncos?
Nope.
Yes. What is it? A Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0 situation, where is it just the team is struggling? Not Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean Derek Carr.
I could see that, where they're just like, but
just so we're not going anywhere.
So Jarrett Stidham's going to be the guy again.
Let Jarrett Stidham be the quarterback.
It's not like
they like Stidham. There's
whatever.
I'm telling you.
So did the Raiders.
Yeah, and they got rid of him. I mean, is Jarrett Stidham anybody's answer? Honestly,
the Broncos, because if they come out and they go 2-5, they lose to the Chiefs, they're going to make a move,
and they can. I mean, that's very, very feasible. And you think Jarrett Stidham? So they say, well, what do we have with Jarrett Stidham? Well, the Russell Wilson experiment is failed. Let's run Jarrett Stidham out there and see what we got and get a damn quarterback. Or do we get in the sweet?
The problem is
kid from SC.
The Broncos are 3 years too late.
Yeah,
on being a quarterback away.
I think you're right.
I don't think the defense is as good as people think.
I totally think
also true.
Do you remember that 51-point game the Rams put up on them last year?
The Rams did. No, Rams did that.
And
last
Baker
year.
Mayfield was their quarterback. That's a combination of not being good and giving up on everything.
Yeah. All right, you got a lot of comments on the Pat Fitzgerald thing, the Northwestern coach who was fired in the hazing situation. I'm going to read you a bunch of that. And I got thoughts on what you're saying, but basically you're all saying, how can people not know what the hell's going on? He should have been fired. We'll get into that and why you feel he should be fired. And I'll ask the question again. Why am I supposed to think this is the only place this is going on? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Registration is now open for the Lobo Cancer Challenge. Cancer can affect anyone at any stage.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
At Northwestern as the football coach. Yesterday at this time, he was suspended for 2 weeks during the summer for the hazing stuff that was happening, the alleged hazing stuff. I don't know if it's alleged anymore, but that's what was said to be going on there. And we've had a lot of conversation about what should a guy, what should a head coach know? How do they not know? Text line says, how does the AD not know? More like it. I can see how the athletic director would not know. Athletic director's not at the program, in the locker room, everything. Like head coaches seem to know everything that goes on in their damn program, don't they?
I think the thing for the athletic director in this situation at Northwestern is if he is saying, well, coach should know everything regardless, he sets the culture. Mm-hmm. Well, then how does that fall back on you? Being the one that's like, yeah, this dude, here's a 10-year contract extension, Northwestern all day.
This one says, Jeff, make no mistake. This must have been talk to text because it says McNoma, MCNOMA, and then steak, like the steak you eat. It says McNoma steak. All the coaches know coaches are control freaks and will not allow anything to happen without their knowledge. Joe Paterno, he knew. Fill in the blank. They all knew. Okay. This says a previously mentioned similar occurrence in an episode of a TV show, Law and Order, depicted a sexual/rape hazing scandal, which was initiated by the coach. Okay. Are we suggesting that this was initiated by the coach? And I guess, look, at this point, nothing would probably surprise you. I'm going to go back to this on Pat Fitzgerald. And this does not absolve him from a damn thing. But this is why this one is relatively surprising. I don't know Pat Fitzgerald, but I did speak with two people yesterday who do know Pat Fitzgerald. I've never heard, and you've never heard a bad thing about this guy. He's beloved after going 1-11. No coach is loved after going 1-11, but he played at Northwestern. You got an extension. They love Pat Fitzgerald. He took Northwestern from just a perennially horrible team. You know, he's played since 2018. He's played for as many Big Ten championships as Jim Harbaugh, Ryan Day, Ohio State, and Michigan. Now, granted, they're in the other division of the Big Ten, but right, they're playing for Big Ten championships. They love this alumni of the program. There's been no scandals, there's been no whispers, and then all of a sudden, boom, his world blew up. Now, again, am I sitting here saying, feel sorry for the guy? That's not what I'm telling you. It's just not what I'm telling you. But that's why this one's so surprising, and it just comes out of nowhere. Terry, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff, JJ, DC. Hope you all are doing well. Calling from the island of Misfit Toys. JJ, I hope you enjoyed your whole week off after working 22-hour days doing 20 things. I hope you got to enjoy your family. So let's go back to 2009. I get a call from my son going to a meeting, coach getting fired. I turn on ESPN, and 5 minutes later at the bottom it shows Mark Mangino fired as coach of KU.
Oh, look at that. I missed that one in there.
Yeah, learned that a little early. It took a few years later and a couple of his teammates after adult beverages to kind of describe some of the psychotic things that Mangino liked to do. But didn't bother my son. He played his whole sophomore year at Eldo with a broken arm, so he could pretty much tolerate most craziness and all that.
All right.
Just tying it in again after you mentioned when you had to take the bowl to Frisco. My son now this year's coaching at Frisco Community College, so I think they roll up the sidewalks when the sun goes down out there. But you know, he just moves around like crazy like that. Nice. From that standpoint. But it's always hard to say who knows what and who doesn't. My son really felt for the D-line coach at KU because, you know, head coach got let go, so everybody got let go. And he said, you know, the D-line coach had treated him right. So sometimes, you know, collateral damage happens to some of the guys that really aren't the mainstay problem. But, you know, it all comes back to winning. And sometimes, you know, KU went to the Orange Bowl, you know, actually 2007 season, one in 2008, but then you go south a little bit and all of a sudden the warts come out and people are held accountable. But I think it goes on. There's numerous schools that still are doing old school things, but yeah, Pat Fitzgerald, you know, had it known as a good guy, but I think some of the stuff that was described says I think he did know something was going on. I wasn't there. It's just my opinion. But we'll see what the future. Huggy Bear, geez, crawl under a rock, Huggy Bear. You got that, and yeah, somebody came to you, you know, that was following in an ambulance and then saw Huggy Bear and said, let's sue to get some money, have some dignity and walk away. But as always, love you guys' show. Have a good day.
Thanks,
Take
sir.
care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
The Huggins thing isn't going to end well. I'm just telling you, because he's not going to let it end well. Who's going to end up looking worse when West Virginia's deal is done? The university, if in fact, JJ, if they wrote that letter with and he didn't and put his name on it, or Huggins for fighting this thing till the end. The answer is yes, right? Everybody looks like crap there. Ren Baker's the athletic director, the president. Everybody.
All over the place, and it could end up shifting to West Virginia if they released a false statement.
If they wrote something and put his name on it that like he says, my signature's not on it.
If we're asking the question, you know, how could coaches not do something? How could a university let that go that far and get out?
Right. Tax line, people that are not control freaks don't get high profile coaching jobs. Is that right? Might be right. You know why you got to be a control freak? Because your job, your future, your livelihood depends on everybody else. So you got to try to control them. I'll say it again, man. You're a head football coach. Your livelihood depends on 100 knuckleheads. Knuckleheads is a bad thing. Where they're 18 to 22-year-old young men, kids. I want you to think back to when you were 18 to 22. Now make 100 of you and your livelihood depends on those guys right there. Yeah, you're going to be a damn control freak. You're an athletic director. You got 450, 500 athletes in your program. You're responsible for the coaches, the assistant coaches, the administration, and the knuckleheads. Phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, no. I mean, nothing good happened, right? Then nothing. Every time the damn phone rings. So, yeah, do you have to be in control? And that's why when you hear all the time, well, coach didn't know about it. God, you sit there and scratch your head, right? And I guess I can understand if there was an isolated incident that happened somewhere, I can see, right? If there was a one-off thing that happened off campus or at a party or somebody's house or even in the locker room one day. But it's so hard to think that something was happening as a ritual, as a routine. And in this case, right, to see it's alleged to have gone on for years, That's where I kind of sit here and scratch my head. Yeah, I can see a situation where a coach didn't know that this happened. All right. But when I hear, well, the program was recruiting and bringing in prostitutes, but the head coach didn't know. Or there was naked hazing going on for years, and the coach didn't know. Or there was, this happened on a bus, and the coach was on the bus, but he didn't, and it happened routinely? It's really hard, isn't it?
They even had code words for what they were doing, and that evolves over time. So when someone from 2007 says he was involved with the running, come on,
2007, dude.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's 16 years ago. I mean, I don't know. It's again, I'm not a head coach, and it's hard to be. A head coach recently told me. Actually, it was in on the conversation, but somebody asked how much control, how much authority do you have over these guys?
Well,
and the coach told me,
here's the thing too. I'm sorry to finish.
Yeah, no, the coach told me I two things. I control whether they're on the team and whether or not they play. That's it. And it's kind of where we are now. So I don't know.
Yeah, and also it's once they're out of the facility. And to me, that's what changed everything. When 100%. It happens in the facility, that's your territory. That's when you have to know everything that is going on. It's different when they're not in your building. And so when it's stuff that's going down in your building, when it happens in the locker rooms, that's when you start saying that falls on you more than maybe a group of guys that just went to the wrong party one night.
All right. Everything you need to know as you go through your day, what's happened while we've been on the air. I'll get you up to date on that when we get back. I want to remind you about Lobo season tickets for football. It's our sweet deal today. $99 gets you 2 tickets to all 6 home games. 2 tickets, $99 is $8.25 a ticket. That's less than a movie. If you want to upgrade a little bit better, silver section seats, only $139 for a pair. Less than $12 a ticket to go see Lobo football. You got a family, you can buy 2 deals and get 4 tickets for what is that? $280-ish, $278 for 4 season tickets. It's our sweet deal. It's on live right now. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon and take advantage of that, courtesy of your good friends over here at 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like boys.
What are they going to be talking about as things go on today? Well, the number one seed is out at Wimbledon. Iga Swiatek loses to unseeded Alina Svitolina. 6-2 in the third. I mean, some people will be talking about that. Maybe not everybody, but the number one seed is out at Wimbledon to an unseeded qualifier. So that's something. People will be talking about Vlad Guerrero's 72 home runs yesterday in the All-Star Home Run Derby. And the All-Star game will be tonight. There's some tour PIF talks that happened. This came out, just about an hour ago, a little less than an hour ago. PGA Tour and the Saudi fund eyed Greg Norman's ouster and a Tiger Woods owned live team. But can you imagine Tiger with live? I mean, the whole thing is, the more you hear about this and the more it's unbelievable. But PGA Tour officials were trying to get, and probably still are, trying to get Greg Norman out as the CEO and commissioner of live. This was all during the negotiations when they were doing this merger. And Saudi's Public Investment Fund proposed that Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy own live teams. These were documents that were released by the U.S. Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigation. So the documents released by the subcommittee, which began a hearing today regarding this planned alliance, suggested that Rory McIlroy met with Yasser Al-Rumayyan, the governor of Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund in Dubai, back in November. Is that about when Rory stopped talking, back in November?
Feels like it was after that.
All right. Rory, right, is a member of the PGA Tour Policy Board. He's got to vote on whether the proposed partnership will ultimately go through. He hasn't publicly disclosed his meeting with Al-Rumayyan, but a May 25th side letter to the framework of this agreement proposed by the PGA Tour called for Norman and Performance 54, which is a London-based marketing consultant group that basically took control of the live golf management, to step down once the proposed partnership is finalized. So according to the subcommittee, its inquiry is yet not revealed whether the side agreement was ever executed. So they want, I mean, of course they want Greg Norman out. The PGA wants nothing to do with Greg Norman. They want, if I'm merging with Liv and putting this whole thing together, I want him out too, don't you?
I know
Go. I'm sure old man made a lot of money. I'm sure the Saudis gave him $100+ million. They're throwing around money like Skittles. I'm sure he's just fine. So yeah, that's going to be a big deal. This Senate subcommittee looks into the whole Live PGA merger. You're gonna continue to hear lots and lots on this. All right, All-Star game tonight. We excited about this? Do you like the All-Star game? You like the Derby more? Are we excited about watching the All-Star game tonight?
Why not?
I just asked.
Yeah.
You're shaking your head over there.
No, I'm not watching.
You're not watching?
No, I just don't know the guys. It's not compelling to me. Just to be honest.
So I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you two things. The kind of mantras that we should put up on the board, right? Like I believe it, Ted Lasso. I'll never tell you how to be a fan. So if that's not your thing, don't do your thing. But I'm also going to tell you, just because you don't know about something doesn't mean it's not good.
And that's fair. That is very fair.
So
I'll watch highlights, but I just don't know if I have 3 hours tonight for it.
I'm not going to invest in the whole thing. But it's like the home run derby. It's like it's all-star. Like, what are your expectations for it? It's just kick back, enjoy it a little bit. It's not must-see television. But again, like I'm not expecting an Oscar-worthy performance out of an all-star game. Like, it's an action flick. It just kill a few minutes.
All-star events are the sideshows bigger, more compelling, better than the games themselves? Is the dunk contest more compelling than the NBA All-Star game? Is the home run derby better, more compelling than the Major League Baseball All-Star game?
Is the home run derby? Do you like the Papa shot style that it's become, where it's? I saw it last night. A lot of people commenting, like, even on TV.
You mean the time?
Like, you just can't watch it because it's not boom shot. It's, well, the ball hasn't even landed and the dude's hitting the next one.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I had the Boston Town last night. We were at dinner. I didn't watch the Derby last night. When we after dinner we went and had a drink and it was on, and so I kind of glanced at it, but I've never loved it. I've watched it. It's like the dunk contest to me. It's not must-see TV. If I'm around and it's on, if I stumble into it, I'll watch it because it's that. Or what am I going to watch? The freaking Bachelor? Like if I was home last night, what would I have watched? I probably would have had it on. But it's not go out of your way. I am so indifferent, and I know I'm paid to have a huge opinion on this. I don't care. Like, for those of you who love it, go love it, man. Do your thing. For me, it's kind of like the draft was for me, right, JJ? It's like, whatever, man. I can't sit and watch the draft all day. Now I kind of watch it when I'm there. I'm indifferent to it. But if like you, but it sounds like, man, you just were so disappointed in it.
I really was. And I'm sad because I wanted to love it, but it didn't do it for me.
All right, enjoy the All-Star game tonight. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you like it, like it. If you don't, the thing too. Thanks to Dylan Hopkins, the Lobo quarterback was in. You like him?
I do.
I missed. Appreciate him stopping by. Don't forget the sweet deal. Go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Take advantage of that. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. You guys want to come back and do more award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m.?
Let's do it.
All right, we're in that. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Yeah, enjoy it. DC, great work. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Appreciate you every single day. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.